On the Justice Court, the plaintiff, Adewumi Akinade, is asking the court to compel the father of her children to be responsible for their upkeep.
I say, let me tell you the truth, that I'm pregnant, but the person I'm pregnant for has refused to do it. So we were just talking about life and everything. My daughter, 13, she just quickly on the light. As she on the light, we saw the daddy with erection. With my daughter 3 years old was like that. Say, I said, what are you doing? Are you using my child hand on your private part?
I want to come in now, and I'll just tell you one thing. Because the last thing you said and this one, they are capital offense. It's not just about narrating stories.
I have already said my own part of the story in the written documentation. But if you would permit me, in order not to start having repetitions, I will just have to highlight to build on the points that I've noted on all the lies that she actually levied against me. She only told me she had an ectopic pregnancy and that they operated it. I was even a little bit naive because I don't even know what an ectopic pregnancy was as at that period or whatsoever. So there was no further communication on it. We just continued with the relationship. And then things went on and on until when she got pregnant for our first child. It was 5 months after the pregnancy that I even got to realize that she is pregnant. I was in our apartment that day, and then one of the neighbors came, greeted us, greeted me good morning, and then greeted Iyabeji good morning. And I was like, Iyabeji, what is going on? Iyabeji, how? What is the issue? Why is she calling you Iyabeji? So then she said she even denied that she does not know why she's being called Iyabeji or whatsoever. That was when I started having a critical look at her, that look, we need to go for a test or something. As at then, I looked at it that, okay, you're pregnant now. And this particular period, we were just in a relationship. Because then the wife I got married to, we were already dating then. And she herself, she equally had her own boyfriend back then in Lagos. My wife too was not in the same school, but by virtue that we are both in the same school, that was how we were able to find ourselves in the relationship. So things went on, and then when she got pregnant, she was even the one practically telling me that she does not have the courage to keep that pregnancy, that her parents is not going to find it easy with her, that she cannot hold the pregnancy, she can't do okay, what do you want? What do you want us to do? She said she has to terminate the pregnancy. This pregnancy is 5 months old. How do you want to terminate it? Do you want to kill yourself on my head or something? She said no. She insisted that she was going to terminate it. Okay, all right. Since you insist, what is it going to be involved? She talked about money. And as at then, we were students. And then I couldn't raise the money as at then. So all of a sudden, she said she needed to travel to Lagos, that she got somebody that actually promised her that they can do the termination properly. I said, okay, go well. I was even the one that gave her transport fare to travel down to Lagos as at then. And then all of a sudden, she got to Lagos and I could not reach her anymore. As at then, phone was just coming up. Mobile devices was just coming up. So I couldn't reach her over the phone. There was no access, no nothing. So it took like a week. And then I now was able to get her on her phone. When I called, it was a man that picked up the call. And then the man was warning me never ever to call the line anymore. I said, no, this is my girlfriend's line. She said, no, this is his own girlfriend, that she's not my girlfriend. I said, well, lo and behold, things went on. I was heartbroken, and I really felt very bad about it. So I had to move on. So it wasn't long after then that my call-up letter came. So when my call-up letter came, I was preparing for service, and then she surfaced back in the school. When she even got back to the school, she was the one that called me that she was already back to school. and that she already has a baby. Also, well, congratulations. I actually went to visit her. And to God who made me, she never ever told me, because the impression she gave me then is that she had already terminated the pregnancy and that she is fine, there is no issue. So when she now came and surfaced with the baby, I was like, well, she said the baby belongs to the new boyfriend that she has, that that it was an unfortunate situation or whatsoever. So I had to move on. I went for my service. I got married to my present wife. Then someday we stumbled upon ourselves on the streets in the Victoria Island there. And when we stumbled, we embraced one another, and then we exchanged contacts again. So when we now met, it was that period that she was now calling me that she has a confession to make to me. What is the confession? She said that the child, as at then, that child actually belongs to me. That because she wanted to keep the pregnancy and she has somebody else that was ready to foot the bills, that was why she had to take the child to the other man. I said, wow, this is serious. That in my mind, somewhere in my mind, I've always suspected, because the period in which you left and the period you came back to school with a child, I've always looked at it like this child that you are coming with, I don't think is a fresh pregnancy that is apparently mine. Okay, what is the situation now? She said nobody knows about it, that it is a secret within I alone. I said, not even your parents? She said her parent does not know about it. Your siblings? She said nobody knows about it, that it is only her. And the other guy, the other Mr. Aziz, is made to know that he is the owner of the child. And that Mr. Aziz has been taking responsibility of the child over the years. That the child was 5 years old as at then. So it took my own effort and my courage to call her mother and explain to her mother that this is the situation. This is what is happening to Toyin. This is what Toyin has told me. And that the child she's carrying does not belong to Aziz, that the child belongs to me. What the mother told me then is that, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí o, a máa fi ṣùkú òru ni o, pé ara yóò gbọ́dọ̀ bá wa gbọ́ sí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. That is, that this, we have to make the particular matter, we have to make the issue a secret, that people do not need to know about it, that whoever has been taking responsibility of the child, that let him continue taking the responsibility. I felt like, no, this cannot be coming out from a mother. You are a mother, you have a child, so I just had to ignore her and then fell back to my own parents. I informed my parents about it, my father and my elder sister. My elder sister will be there in the courtroom with you. So when I told her, she was of the opinion that already it's a very big matter. But however, anything first that we need to do a DNA test in order to be very sure that this allegation is actually the true allegation. So I was told to go and look for money at all costs. As at then, I was working with Glo. I was having a salary that was even less than 60,000 naira that I was earning as at then. And the DNA test was going roughly about 300 to 350,000. So I started looking for money, helter-skelter, trying to raise money. Eventually, I raised the money and I called her that, look, this is the situation. We need to go for a DNA test to confirm the paternity of the child. So we actually went, we had it at the DNA lab. It was on Allen Avenue in Ikeja. And then the DNA result came out. I have the result right here. The paternity test shows that I was the father of the child, 99.999%. So I took the result back to my parents. And then they felt like this has been confirmed now. The truth has been established. And we cannot continue to allow somebody else to father the child when the child actually belongs to me. That since I have known, the appropriate thing to do is for me to go and take responsibility of my child. So as at that point, when Aziz got to know about it, he became very violent. He was not happy about the situation, that he had to go without. They went to their house, to Adewumi's house. It was even Adewumi's mother that pushed her out, that this is where she's hiding, that she should go and follow them. So as at that period, when we knew that Aziz was already becoming violent, we had to secure the child in my sister's house. So when they went to Adewumi's house in order to go and get her, she was the one that brought them, that's Aziz, alongside with all the touts, that brought them to my sister's house, that they came and forcefully took the child away with them. So when they took the child away, the situation now became a legal situation. We had to get a lawyer that wrote to Aziz's family that this is the situation. We are not here for quarrel. We are not here for anything. Whatever we want is that let us settle. Let us have an amicable discussion that this child, you don't need to continue wasting your resources on the child, because the child does not actually belong to you. So there was a mediation. There was a mediation as at that period by one of the lawyers. And then Aziz too brought in his lawyer, and then we had to settle out of court. I even had to look for money again. I paid compensation to Aziz and his family, in which that settled, and eventually Aziz released the child to us. So when Aziz released the child to us, I then looked at it. But as at then, before all this happened, she was initially living with Aziz. In fact, she was cohabiting with Aziz. And then at some point, she left Aziz the same way she left my house. That's the same way she left Aziz. And then this same story is that Aziz was molesting the child. That is the same story that she cooked.
Never.
So because of that, I was really furious over it, that I will not allow Aziz to molest my own child or whatsoever. So that was why we had to get the lawyer then. And then we got the child, we got custody of the child. And then it is not like we took the child to us, we still handed the child back to her. And then she went on living in her parents' house. So every day it was always complaints that if the child takes Indomie of 50 naira from the mother is always billing her for it. The mother is maltreating her. The mother is doing this. The mother is doing that. I now looked at it like, okay, this thing has been established that this is my child. I will step into this matter. That, do you mind if you relocate out of Lagos and then come to, as at then I was in Niger State, I was in Minna. I was working in Kontangora in Niger State. So I said, I will get you an apartment in Minna. You will come, and then I'll be able to put my child in a very good school of my choice here, and I will be able to monitor my child. In all fairness, I did everything because of the child that was involved, because I needed time to take care of that child. But unfortunately for us, when she came to Minna, we started dating again. And then we had an unprotected sex, and before we knew it, another pregnancy came up. So when the other pregnancy came up, I had no choice. Okay, look, you have to keep it. What has happened in the past, let's not allow it happen again. And this is you, that when you were in Aziz's house, you were actually looking for this pregnancy, you weren't getting the pregnancy. She confided in me as at then. So we kept that pregnancy, and then we nurtured it until when she had the baby, she had it through C then. When she had it, I was the only one with her. I was the one that was footing the bills. I was taking care of everything. When she came to Minna, I opened the business for her. I got her a shop because we were looking for a job. There was no job. So I had to get her a shop. It was even in the ultra-modern market in Minna, one of the most expensive markets, that I got the shop for her there. And then I gave her money to start up the business. She initially forgot the business she started. She started business with food items. And then in less than 3 months, she mismanaged the business, and there was nothing out of that business. That was when I now looked at it like, okay, we have already paid for a shop and the shop cannot continue wasting like that. She wasn't managing all this business. And she's the type that whenever you call her that, look, how are you doing this business? Let's talk about this business. How are you? She feels like maybe I am prying into her business. She is never cooperative in order to tell me I don't even know what is going on about the business. All that will just happen is that business will collapse. So the first, second, and third business went on and on. But still, there was never in any day that I will travel down to Mina to come and see them, because I come every 2 weeks. She talked about molestation. Lo and behold, this is me, Your Honor. I have never in any day been molested my own child. This is my child I am talking about. And then if situation now even comes up that it happens, you have never for one day discussed with me that this is what happened, or I don't like this about you, I don't like this you're doing. You never even discussed anything with anybody. Not until after you left. I was the one that is now asking you, what exactly did I do to you that made you leave? And then you are now fabricating stories that I molested your child. When and how? When and how? I am not suffering for women. I am legally married in the house. If I leave my house here, I am coming to your place. And it is not like you and I, we don't have sex. But I guess maybe just to have a story to cook to people for her reasons for living is when she started cooking up the stories where I molested child. I felt like, no, this is totally wrong. That I'm going to sue her for a defamation of character. It took my elder sister to plead on her behalf that I shouldn't do that. That if I do that, what is the fate of the children? That if she's sent to jail because of all these lies, what will now happen to my children? That it's an enmity or hatred that I'm trying to create between me and my children. That was why I had to resign that action. I was building a house in Lagos as at then. So based on the insecurity, there is a whole lot of insecurity. I don't know, maybe you've been listening to the headlines about Niger State. The peak of insecurity, banditry in Niger State was really getting high, and everybody was advised to move their family out of Niger. But because we were not in good speaking terms, I had no particular period to have a conversation with her. But I had a house that I was building in Lagos, in Ikorodu in Lagos, that I was just trying to rush it up so that they can occupy a flat in the house. And then in the interim, while I finish it up, based on the security reasons, I texted her that they might have to relocate at the expiration of the rent of that house, that they might have to relocate to Lagos. She asked me where. I told her for now, it's my father's house. I have an apartment. It's a mini flat that I have there that nobody is occupying because I don't live in Lagos. It is just there. It's only when I come home on holidays or on vacations that I come to the house. So I told her they will be relocating to my father's house in Surulere. This is the house where I was raised. This is the house that I grew up. This is the house that I was born. So she never said anything. She did not even respond to me about it. So it was like a week after, the caretaker of the house now called me that why do I want to vacate the house and I did not inform them that your rent is still going to expire in September and you're already leaving the house. What is the reasons or whatsoever? I said, no, I did not leave my apartment. My wife is there and my children are there in the apartment. Nobody is living. He now said, no, that there is nobody in that apartment. I said, no, it's not possible. So immediately I left everything I was doing. I had to travel down to Mina. And when I got to the house, truly, there was nobody in the house anymore. She has moved everything. All my properties, she moved everything, including my car. She moved it without my consent. I now called her over the phone. Where are you? She says she has left, that I should not bother to know where she is. I looked at it like, what exactly is the problem? Why did you leave? She said it's none of my business, that she has left for good. I had to go to the police station. I reported at the police station. At the police station, they directed me to the Child Rights Agency. And then when we got to the Child Rights Agency, they called her over the phone and they invited her. She declined the invitation. They even sent notice to her. She declined everything. She refused to attend because those ones were trying to protect the rights of the child. So she never allowed any form of mediation to happen in between us. All she was just saying is that she has left. She has left. Okay, you are leaving. Even if you want to leave, can't you just leave quietly and live in peace? Why are you taking my children out? Why are you taking my properties? That means that this is a planned thing for you to drive my car all the way from Minna down to Lagos. It means it was planned and you did not drive it. Somebody drove you. So she remained adamant. She said she wasn't going to come. I got very angry too. And then at the police station, I told them that I needed to take it up to the court, that she has no right to go away with my children. My children are my jewels. These are the only children that I have in my life. All of a sudden, you just picked all of them and then took them away to nowhere. Where can I see my children? You said no. You denied me access. She was lying by saying that I never made any attempt. I made attempt on 3 consecutive times in order to see my children. She denied me access. She doesn't want me to come close. There was even times that I looked at it that, okay, let's bury the archer. Let me just move on. That it is the children. I sent money to them. She's saying I sent 30,000 to them. I initially sent 50,000 and I sent another 30,000 naira to them. I sent the money that, okay, let me just, since it is money she always wanted, because whenever money is involved, that is when you see her smile. But if money is not involved, that is a big problem. I felt like, okay, let me draw them closer. Let me, at least, just for me to even know the location, let me know where my children is. I'm not bothered about the property you went away with. I'm bothered about my children. I need to see them. Since 2021, April 2021, till I speak, Tonya has restricted, she has denied me access to see my children.
Since when? Did you hear that?
She has denied me till now, till I speak. I have not seen my children till I speak. Since 2021. I made a whole lot of attempts. She's refusing. I came to Lagos about 3 consecutive times that I was trying to even communicate. I sent messages. All I will keep getting is verbal abuse. She will insult me. She will verbally insult me. She will curse my generations alongside with it. Each time my daughter has a phone, that is the first daughter, our first daughter, she has a phone. Each time I try to communicate with her, she's always hijacking the phone from her. And then all forms of abuses, all forms of curses is what she rains on me. So when I saw that this was getting too much, I don't want to overreact. I don't want to, my sanity is very, very important to me. I have a lot of pressure right here, both in the house, both at work. I have a lot of pressure. I cannot keep on adding your own pressure. So that's why I just had to lie low. That whenever you're ready or whenever you're tired, that please, you know the way to my parents' house. You know where my parents' house is. Call me or take my children to my parents. I will personally come and take responsibility. I am working for my children. There is nothing I cannot do for them. But you cannot deny me access and you expect me to come and take responsibility on the children.
The defendant, Adetola Adebola, claims that Adewumi's allegations are not true. He stated that he is working hard to be able to take care of the children, but Adewumi is frustrating his efforts by not allowing him to have access to the children. He denies the allegation of inappropriate behavior towards his daughters. He stated that he was making adequate provision for Adewumi and their children before Adewumi left home with the children and his properties.
I want to comment just a minute, because all that I'm addressing right now is the welfare of the children. I'm through with all those stories. It goes to no issue. When do you want to have access to your children? Visitation first.
In fact, I am open to my children at any time, even whenever they are on vacation. I don't even mind. I'll send a driver to pick them up and then come to me in Mina or come to me in Abuja, wherever I am.
Okay. But that's the way it is.
Let
me tell you the way the law operates. I've told you. Whatever you I keep saying it. You have not proved anything. All those things are just allegations. And there are things I've faced in practice before. What the law says is, whatever you allege, you must prove.
Order!
He's threatening me. So there's no way I can allow him come to where I live.
But you want him to give you upkeep.
This matter is unfolding as the court proceeding continues in the next episode.
Have you been cheated or have a dispute and want justice? Don't take laws into your hands. Log on to www.thejusticecourt.com and submit your case.